Hello, my name is Kyle Houston.
Hi, I'm Mary Kemp.
Hi, my name is Chris Lawver.
Hi, my name is Adam Preitel.
And my name is Carlton Shoemaker, and this is Game Night. Have you ever been debating with your friends about who won the last time you played Monopoly or Scrabble? Do you play enough board games that you need a way to keep track of the different times you meet to play and who is coming to each session? If you said yes, the Game Night app is for you. You no longer need to argue about who won last or when your next game night is coming up.
To achieve the goal of Game Night, we use Zoom to connect remotely to collaborate ideas and work towards a final product. With each group member having personal recommendations for this project, we collectively planned our initial ideas on Google Doc. Once all ideas were agreed upon from the team, we transferred our minimum viable product over to our GitHub Scrum board. With the use of our Scrum board, we would divide our tasks based into small goals that were obtainable for each portion of the application. With the use of our morning and evening stand-ups, the group discussed the tasks needed to be done to prioritize the features that were needed to complete each day. We communicated over our Team Slack channel during each sprint to stay on the same page. To achieve the final product of Game Night, we based our project in MVC using the Entity Framework with ASP.NET Core, C# language, JavaScript, fetched APIs, CSS, and HTML in the Visual Studio. Game Night begins with the players. First, users create player profiles before they can be added to a game event and access all features of the site. The user can personalize their profile page with a profile picture, bio, location, and can add their favorite games to their profile. Once all of the players on the site are registered, a user then selects a game that they want to play on their next game night. If a specific game cannot be found on the list, the user can go to the game gallery page and search for the specific game that they want to play. Once a game is added to the gallery, the user can create an event for their next game night by selecting the date of the event and adding all of their friends to it. After the user and their friends meet in real life and play out the game, they can close the event by recording who won and lost. After the outcomes are recorded, Game Night will update the player statistics and leaderboard. Only the user who created an event can update or delete it, and this user can also add and remove any players they choose.
We use GitHub's Project Scrum board to identify user stories, as well as divide tasks among team members. Our team used Git to create branches and to maintain version control with GitHub, and we used pair programming to alleviate potential merge conflicts. Our team created an MVC.NET application platform built in Microsoft Visual Studio 2019. Our MVC application uses CRUD methodologies that allows the user to create, update, and delete certain aspects of the application. This fulfilled most of the design needs of the project. The CRUD pattern allowed us to add users, events, and specific instances of the users playing events and their favorite games. We also use JavaScript to call upon the Board Game Atlas API to fetch the board game of choice, the image, description, and number of players. We use this information from the API to populate the game information into our database. Our team created an MVC.NET application platform built in Microsoft Visual Studio 2019. Our MVC application uses CRUD methodologies that allows the user to create, update, and delete certain aspects of the application. This fulfilled most of the design needs of the project. The CRUD pattern allowed us to add users, events, and specific instances of the users playing events and their favorite games. We also use JavaScript to call upon the Board Game Atlas API to fetch the board game of choice, the image, description, and number of players. We use this information from the API to populate the game information into our database.
Throughout the project, our team used Agile Scrum methodologies by reporting every day the tasks we completed. At the beginning of the day, we would review what needs to be completed and vote on breaking out into pair programming or mob programming, depending on the tasks at hand for the day.
One of the challenges we had during the development process of our project when fetching from our board game API was that we had no way to store that data into our database for other use. The team created an external ID field on our game model that we linked to the ID on the API, which allowed us to store that information into our database so users can now add games to events, create events with the appropriate amount of players, and keep track of wins and losses through a leaderboard. The biggest challenge that we faced as a group from time to time was finding the next step of moving forward with the application. As relatively new programmers working on our first self-directed team project, we had to learn how to find the next steps on our own and keep pushing ourselves to continue. Even though this would set us back slightly, we would come back together and reference our Scrum board or our daily notes we would share in Slack. We were able to apply development practices that we learned in class and taught ourselves from online resources to build the finished product. Overall, our team is extremely happy with the way game night turned out and hope this will give people an easier way to connect with others while having fun competition.